Hey there and welcome back to South Park: The Stick of Truth. My name is Pete and today we complete the final storyline episode of the game, however not the final episode of this playthrough. We will have another short episode after this one to complete the remaining achievements, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. For the moment we have a nuke to defuse, and there is only one very particular way to get close to it.
Oh look, he's all small.
Wow, this kid is just full of surprises. Quick! Get up there and disarm the snook! Hurry!
Oh, be careful. I might have also put some bats up there the other night.
Dude, lame. How come I have to be your buddy right now? And now we boldly go where many men have gone before.
New kid, you must find a way out of this place or you will surely die. The way behind you is blocked by the large sphincter. Make haste to the large intestine. All will be made clear to you then.
A great adventure is waiting for you ahead.
So, welcome to the insides of Mr. Slave. And it doesn't take long before we're stopped for the first time and enter combat.
Screw you guys, I'm beating the shit out of you.
Now this presents an excellent opportunity to unlock the Inside Joke achievement. All we have to do for that is to summon Mr. Slave while we're inside of Mr. Slave.
Ooh, this could be kind of fun. Oh. Ooh, Jesus Christ.
Nya, 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 nya.
Alright, achievement unlocked, the first of several in this episode, and we can now proceed by climbing up one level higher and then switching out our buddy. As for the next obstacle, we need Stan's body ability.
Dude, are we really gonna go up Slave's asshole? Your word? Sparky! Here, boy!
This clears the way and allows us to approach another enemy, however we can take this one out without a fight. Our journey continues as we teleport over to the other side, where we can loot the bacteria for some cash and then proceed. Just around the corner then we make the acquaintance of Mr. Hat, who we can climb up onto to gain another friend request. Then once again we have another bacteria in our way, and this time we can use the Nagasaki to once again avoid a fight. Conveniently this also clears the way onwards, and so after another round of looting we can take a quick call.
Ooh, Jesus.
Hello? Hello? Slave honey? You better not be tied up somewhere, you silly goose. Huh. Where is he?
Alright, another friend request gained and another battle to fight.
Come on, let's do this!
Now 3 enemies means we have to go with an attack that hits them all, and so the Whirling Doom becomes the perfect choice for the occasion. Only 2 enemies are left and both of them are weakened, and so Stan can now clean up with his Discus of Might. Now this small fight was easy, but it was a very important one nonetheless, as we can now loot the Vibroblade and the Fungus Patch. Taking a quick detour over to the right, we can also stock up on some potions, before we then continue in the other direction.
Huh, no power.
Now the flashlight here doesn't work, but restoring the power is an easy fix. We simply have to push the battery back in.
Ooh, Jesus Christ.
With the bat gone, we can now continue on our path, and that leads us straight to a chest containing some cash, the condom cap and the ghost pepper patch. Once again, it is now time to climb up one level higher, and at the end we will also once again switch back to Cartman as our buddy, because I find the next fight to be a lot easier with him.
I am the Sparrow Prince. Like you, I was once used for pleasure as an anal plaything, and thus perished in this place. Now you must defeat my angry spirit in order to move forward. I know I don't really sound that angry, but trust me, I am.
This looks like a job for the Grand Wizard and his trusty sidekick.
Alright, the Sparrow Prince with roughly 37,000 HP and accompanied by 2 bacteria. Not necessarily an easy fight, and that is why we start things off with a speed potion, before then sending down the plagues of Egypt.
Ouch! My anger is greater now.
We then follow things up with a Whirling Doom, which is enough to take out the bacteria and bring the Sparrow Prince down to roughly 21,000 HP. Now from the Plagues of Egypt we have also received 4 times ability up, and that has a noticeable effect as Cartman uses the Curse ability next.
Shit-face cock, ass three piece of crap, ball sucker, yum, horse, nutsack.
Hi, car.
It's still not enough to take the Sparrow Prince out here, but a Sling of David followed up with another curse does the trick.
Ahead of you lies adventure, and your strength still lies within. Oh! Freedom from the ass of doom is the treasure you will win. Lammy Winks has made it out, the tale is nearly through.
Vagina, fucking son of a bitch, dick, weirdo, sandy vagina, penis itch, spastic, alcoholic, ginger, dick face, spot. See, new kid, that's how it's done.
You have proven yourself in combat, young anal plaything. You may journey forth. Find the Snook's trigger and save the outside world. Fare thee met and fare thee well.
Alright, that's the Sparrow Prince defeated, and that means we can continue onwards, where we will once again have to use a Nagasaki to clear the way.
Nice, bruh.
A quick teleport here then allows us to push the button, and that opens up the next part of the path.
I didn't join the company for this. We've got our orders. Yeah, but how come we always get the shit jobs? Go clean out the barracks. Go round up civilians in their homes. Go up a gay man's butthole and guard against intruders. Fucking sucks.
Armed guards? What are they doing here?
Whoever seeks to blow up the city clearly doesn't want anyone stopping them.
You must get past them, new kid. Go fuck them up.
And this bit is pretty straightforward, we have no other option here but to fight.
Target acquired.
Dude, seriously, I think we fought enough guys already.
Now the 2 SWAT guys here are pretty heavily armored and they hit extremely hard, so we will once again take a speed potion to get an extra attack in. And one more time we start things off with the Plagues of Egypt, this time focusing exclusively on the Fiery Hail, which strips away a decent amount of armor from both enemies. The follow-up Sling of David then already brings both enemies down to their knees, and Cartman and his Burning Cloud ability can take care of the rest.
Knew this day would come.
I am God!
While looting, let's not overlook the tactical armor pad on the second enemy here, and once we have everything, we can venture onwards.
Neath the cold depths of the London heart.
Hello, new kid. I am Katatafish.
Katatafish of the stomach's cove.
The trigger of the thermonuclear device lies before you. I have tried to solve its riddle, but I have been unable to disarm it.
Katatafish riddle will soon be told.
There are only moments to spare. Find a way to disengage the trigger, or all will be lost.
You see the handicap sign, right? You know what that means, right?
First things first, let's grab the loot before it's too late to do that, and then we need to switch our buddy over to Jimmy.
Your word is the command, my lord. This calls for a little bardic access.
Snook abortion sequence initiated. Begin electrolytic infusion.
Alright, the process here is more or less identical to the one in the abortion clinic, so if you've mastered that, you should have no problems defusing the snook here.
Danger. Abortion access slit dilated. Initiate control chip removal. Wrong chip, ow. Not that, I needed that. Wrong chip, self-destruction sequence aborted.
What is it, Mr. Slade? What are you feeling?
Jesus Christ!
Great job, new kid. But your journey is not yet complete.
Yes, but should we ever need your services again, we will call.
Great job. You've disarmed the snook. South Park is saved.
Yes. Now let's finish this, new kid. Let's beat Clyde once and for all and take back the stick of truth.
Alright, we just earned 3 friend requests and the Crown of Anal Pleasure, and that one is actually being automatically equipped on us, but unfortunately it doesn't have any upgrade slots, so we are going back to the Valkyrie headband. Venturing onwards, we now have Jimmy as our companion, but at this point it makes sense to switch back to Cartman for the fight that comes next.
Fools! You thought you could conquer the Fortress of Darkness! Clyde, back away from that stuff! Oh, but I have yet to complete my army. You have come to witness the power of darkness.
Stop! Clyde, you have no idea what that stuff is!
Yeah, it's green sauce from Taco Bell. I took it from their construction site. Dude, that's not Taco Bell sauce. Then why'd I find it at the Taco Bell? It leaked out of a UFO, Clyde! It's toxic goo from another galaxy! Think about it! Since when does Taco Bell have a green sauce, dude?
Actually, since about a year ago.
What?
Taco Bell has green sauce now.
No way. They've had it longer than a year. I've always gotten spicy green burritos.
Yeah, no, I'm saying in the packets. They just started putting green sauce in packets.
The fuck? How the fuck did I miss this? Haha! I don't seem so foolish now, do I?
That doesn't mean you have Taco Bell green sauce, dip fuck.
Yeah, Clyde, why do you think that shit's glowing? Maybe because of the 3 varieties of chili peppers. Just give us the stick, asshole. Or what? You'll beat me up? Haha! I've got another surprise for you.
I'm gonna make love to you, woman.
Ah! Get him, Commander Douchebag!
Let's all make sweet love.
Hell!
Alright, now time to fight, and once again this one won't be easy. So we'll start things off with the usual combo of Speed Potion and Plagues of Egypt. Now, while using the Plagues of Egypt, we want to make sure to only use the Frogs and Pestilence, that is W and D if you play the PC version, as both of those give ability up if the Plagues of Egypt is fully upgraded. That ability up will then in turn be useful for the Circumcise ability, which not only cuts Chef's armor rating in half, but also inflicts roughly 10,000 hit points worth of damage. This of course still leaves over 60,000 to take care of, and that is why Cartman will also drink a speed potion next, before he goes for 2 powerful rounds of the Curse ability.
Veiny bones, fuck me! Greasy pubes, wiener, penises, shit, suck, heavy bones, 6-8, cock,
By the way, if you fail to block the chocolate salty balls in the beginning, the fight becomes a lot harder, because that attack causes one of you guys to become grossed out, and when you're grossed out you can no longer drink potions. So blocking it is essential to keep the upper hand in this fight. Now Chef attacks, but we are once again able to block, and so the next move will be the Sling of David to do as much damage as possible. With Cartman, we then want to consume a power potion next, as this now gives him enough power points to use the curse ability one last time.
Ginger, weirdo, Sandy the Dum Dum, Dildo, Vagina, Scribbled Sack, Penises, Cock, Not Very True.
Children, everybody, I'm back!
Enough of this! Burn them! Burn them all! That's right. Your eons of torment are at an end, ruler of darkness. Okay, you know what? I'm not playing anymore. You have broken the rules of the stick, and for that I banish thee. I banish thee from space and time! Ah! We did it, dude! That was awesome. You did it. Your noble quest is at an end. And for all your deeds and all your time put into this, I hereby promote you to King Douchebag. Congratulations. Quickly, now let's get the stick back to safety before anyone can do...
We've got him! We've got the Dragonborn!
Dragonborn? What?
So, it really is the Dragonborn. Just can't stop being a thorn in our side, huh?
He has the stick of truth. How does this guy know you, King Douchebag?
King Douchebag? Is that what you told him your name was? Why didn't you tell them your real name, Dovahkiin? You don't remember, do you? How we tried to find you?
Look, that stick belongs with the Fighters of Zaron. Give it back.
Fighters of Zaron? Boys, what's going on here is much more complex than that. This isn't the first time a UFO has crashed to Earth. You see, in 1947, a UFO crashed in Roswell, New Mexico.
Oh, God. Oh, brother, spare us.
Hang on a sec. A UFO crashed in Roswell, and a new government agency was created to investigate the paranormal. Our agency.
Can we skip this? Like, hit the skip button or something?
Oh, you don't want to skip this.
Yes, we do.
Whenever aliens are spotted, vampires run amok, our agency is there, and we have never lost a fight. That is, until 4 years ago when we investigated a child.
Yawn, yawn, yawn.
A child who had an unnatural power inside him. I had orders from the president to secure the child so that we could harness his powers before our enemies could. But he slipped through our hands.
The government wants the new kid for his farts? That's dumb.
His farts? No! His amazing ability to make friends so quickly on any social network. Before he was 5 years old, he had 3.2 billion friends on Facebook alone. Do you have any idea the power that kind of gift yields in today's world? It's time to come with us, Dovahkiin. Time to stop resisting and use your gift for your country.
Is he really still talking?
Are we so different, you and I, Dovahkiin? You have to do what the government tells you to do, just like me. We're all just pawns in their game. I'll admit you are fascinating. You have more power than any child I've ever come across, and yet all you seem to really care about is this. It must be very important. What does it do?
Whoever controls the stick controls the universe, dumbass. Yeah, stupid.
Controls the... But then... I wouldn't have to do what I was told anymore. I could... I control the universe! Get back! Back, I say, all of you! I can do anything! Anything I want! I no longer need you, new kid! I control the universe! Damn thing! How does it work? Show me how it works!
Yeah, right.
Dovahkiin, why should we be on the opposite sides? Join me, Dovahkiin. Rule by my side. Rule. And you can have this all to yourself forever. I can offer you all. Just get me safely out of here. You can rule with this once again.
You underestimated the character of the Fighters of Zaron. What binds us is more than that relic. And you failed to recognize the character of our alliance. Yes, and that friendship is more important to any of us than even the stick of truth. Dude, where are you going? Princess Kenny!
At least one of you has some sense?
You'd sell us all out? But why, Princess Kenny?
Because Princess Kenny was born a half-orc, whose entire village was wiped out by humans and elves.
Morgan Freeman?
You see, when humans and elves lived together in the forest of Hollow Falls, an elven queen fell in love with the orc known as Dandar, the first one to possess the Stick of Truth. They loved in secret and had a child. A beautiful little girl, a girl who watched as everyone she loved was killed in cold blood. And that is why she waited and plotted all this time to take the stick from you. For Princess Guinea is true heir to the Stick of Truth.
Wow, that's pretty cute. Just one thing, Morgan Freeman. How come every time something convoluted needs explaining, you show up?
Because every time I show up and explain something, I earn a freckle.
Princess Kitty, come back here! Back to our authority.
Alright, here we are with no time to waste as we now have to chase after Kenny and the Stick of Truth.
Welcome, weary adventurers! You know how before the big final boss fight of any game there's a conveniently placed shop where you can stock up on health potions and arrows and stuff? Well, this is that shop. Can I interest you in some of my wares?
And yes, we want to buy something here because unlike other shops in the game, this one is only accessible once, and so we want to spend the barely $60 that we have here on 2 weapon strap-ons and 1 equipment patch. Up next, we will have to prepare for another achievement, but first we remove the Morning Star of David that we just received, and we will re-equip the Canadian halberd. Now for the 2 girls 1 stick achievement, we want to wear a very particular outfit here. And that outfit consists of only the makeover outfit, the makeover accessory, the makeover wig, and lastly the makeover makeup. We can only wear those 4 pieces of equipment, everything else has to be removed. That means no headwear, no eyewear, and also no facial hair. On top of that, we are now equipped with a pretty poor outfit for combat. The makeover outfit doesn't really give much protection, so we want to make absolutely sure to at least use the upgrade slots on it effectively. And for the Jew class, I think it's a good idea to go with the superhero patch, which does 20% more ability damage, alongside a patch that gives some form of power point regeneration. That PP regeneration is also something that we want to put on the makeover accessory on our hands, and once we have everything equipped, we can proceed. Before proceeding to the next area, make sure to use Gnome Dust here to go under the counter, where you can find an additional $3 and the broken saw blade. If you want to, you can spend the cash on a few more potions, otherwise you can head through the exit on the left.
Give us the stick, Princess Kenny. You don't want to go down like this, bruh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Yes! Go, Princess Kitty!
You shall not pass!
Alright, I think I can say this without spoiling anything. We are now in the final fight of the game. It won't be an easy one, Kenny has an absurdly high armor rating, and so as usual we start things off with a speed potion. Our first attack is then unsurprisingly the Circumscythe, which strips away half of Kenny's armor rating, lowering it down to 1200. That, however, is still pretty damn high, and so with the next attack we do the same thing all over again. With Kenny's armor down to 600 and his HP at roughly 28,000, it is now Cartman's turn, who starts with a magic missile for a bit of bonus damage and the grossed out status effect, before then going for the Burning Cloud. And despite its lower damage output, I chose the Burning Cloud over the Curse ability here, because as you can see it strips away an additional 150 armor. Kenny's attack is easy to block and we have the fight well under control at this point, so there's no need to waste any more speed potions at the moment, we can simply go for the Sling of David. Cartman then once again does about 800 hit points worth of damage with the magic missile, before using the Curse ability to almost put an end to the fight.
Shut up! Alcoholic, butt plug, weirdo, veiny bone, slum, ball sucker, you asshole, plastic coat pot, Christian!
The end then comes a few seconds after that, just after blocking Kenny's next attack.
That's how it's done. It's all over, Princess Kenny. Douchebag is too powerful for you. What's she doing? No, Kenny, don't drink that! zombie Princess Kitty! Fuck! This is it, King Douchebag! The final battle! Your buddies stand with you! I would just stand over here.
Use your rainbow attack, Princess Kitty!
Oh, no, you don't.
Alright, and this right here is now the real boss fight. Now, Nazi Zombie Kenny starts with the same amount of hit points, but with an even higher armor rating of over 3100. So we'll start things off just like in the previous round, with a speed potion and 2 attacks with the Circumcise ability. Now, Cartman is on the sidelines for this fight and we can also not call him back in, so we'll have to make do with Stan. So we'll start things off with Marked for Death, which will lower Kenny's defense. This then paves the way for Stan's Way of the Sword ability, which doesn't necessarily do a whole lot of damage, but just like Cartman's Burning Cloud ability, it once again strips away a few points from Kenny's armor rating.
Hit them with the zombie vomit!
Now, your buddy getting knocked out is to be expected in this fight, but of course we want to use a revive potion here to bring them back, not only to help out in the fight, but to also not void the No Child Left Behind achievement. Once Stan is back up, we'll then use the Sling of David, which does roughly 10,000 hit points worth of damage. Stan can then once again use Marked for Death to lower Kenny's defenses, but our options afterwards are pretty limited. Stan's normal attack isn't all that great against armor, so we'll use the only ability that he has left available, the Discus of Might.
Princess Kitty, call upon your beautiful Nazi unicorn! Stupid fucking unicorn!
This right here, by the way, the reason I left Stan in the fight and didn't exchange him for another buddy. He has a beautiful counter to the Unicorn Stampede and can completely nullify that attack.
My sword hand's got a cramp. I need a minute.
Up next in the group is then Jimmy, but he won't see much action, because another Sling of David will already drop Kenny's hit points down to 0.
Oh my god! You killed Kenny! Yeah, that. Oh, no, wait, he's back.
Use your rainbow attack, Princess Kitty!
Yeah. She looks more dead than she was before. Kill her again.
Now, Kenny's back with full hit points, but, and this is very important, his armor rating has carried over. That is also the main reason why we focused so heavily on getting his armor down in the first round, because this now makes the second round a lot easier. After healing Jimmy a bit, his first attack will then be the Brown Note, which does a bit of damage and also inflicts defense down.
Wow, what a terrific target.
And with Kenny's defenses already weakened, we'll now weaken them even further, as our next attack will once again be the Circumcise.
Hit them with the zombie vomit!
Kenny's armor rating is now down to only 275 as we quickly revive Jimmy here, and that is low enough to once again do a considerable amount of damage with the Sling of David.
Use your rainbow attack, Princess Kitty!
You've been terrific.
Now Jimmy goes down once again here, and so once again we want to use a revive potion to bring him back into the fight. However, this back and forth between Kenny and Jimmy always leaves the nuke hit pretty much unaffected, and so we can once again use the Sling of David here.
Give these vermin a taste of their own medicine, Princess Kitty! No! Where are you going with Princess Kitty's rats, Samuel?
This right here, a unique counter that only Jimmy has, and I thought it would be nice to see, so that's why I left him in the fight. Now we have Butters by our side and no need to get overly complicated here. A simple melee attack is almost enough to take Kenny out, and the bleeding damage will then shortly take care of the rest.
Use your rainbow attack, Princess Kitty!
I think all the dying is making her tired. Keep killing her.
Hit them with the zombie vomit!
Alright, here we are, ready for round number 3, and unsurprisingly, we'll have to start things off by reviving Butters here before hitting the Sling of David.
Use your rainbow attack, Princess Skinny!
Now the block with Butters here got us pretty lucky, as we can now use a healing potion with him and have another potion free to use with the nuke kit. Butters' attack for this round will be the hard-hitting Hammer of Justice, simply because his Professor Chaos ability is a bit too unpredictable and it also has a chance of glitching out in this fight. Now for a change, we don't need to revive anyone this round, and that means we can once again drink a speed potion, which then allows us to get in 2 Sling of Davids one after another.
Death comes for you, Dragonborn. You'd better pray for a miracle.
Now that is not quite enough to bring Kenny down here, but it does bring us a lot closer to the end of the fight.
Hit them with the zombie vomit!
Now that the nuke kit is down, we once again have to use a revive potion, but that's fine with me, we're not really wasting anything here if we use it with Butters, and once the nuke kit is back up, we can use the Hammer of Justice one more time, which brings Kenny down to roughly 5,500 HP.
That was the most perfect throw I've ever seen.
And that is once again low enough to bring him down to 0 with another well-placed Sling of David.
She doesn't stay dead. We can't beat her.
Till we're fucked. There's no way.
There is one way. We're gonna have to break the gentleman's code.
What? Cartman, you can't possibly mean...
What other choice do we have, Cal? King Douchebag, you remember long ago, I made you swear an oath to never fart on anyone's balls. I am now asking you to break that oath. He's right, it's our only chance. Fart on Princess Kitty's balls, King Douchebag. Do it! Now, King Douchebag, fart on Princess Kitty's balls.
What about the gentleman's oath?
Alright, very straightforward here, we just have to use one of our fart attacks. We don't have enough mana for that though, so let's quickly drink a potion. And then you can simply pick one of the 4 you have available. I went with the Dragon Shout here.
What? We're back to normal. We're cured!
You're all better now, Daddy.
That's right, son. The Dragonborn must have farted on a princess's balls.
You guys sure about this?
There's no other way. It drove our friend to madness and nearly killed us all. So what do you guys want to play now? How about Dinosaur Hunters?
Or pharaohs and mummies?
Let's ask Douchebag. What do you want to play next, dude?
Okay, quick pause in the action here, we have a chance to speak in a second, but before we do, this right here is the end of the story. Now, a moment ago we unlocked a bunch of achievements, most of them pretty much self-explanatory, so I don't think I have to explain them further. Now, the game officially considers this right here the end, but once the credits have rolled, we will be able to return to South Park and explore the town a bit further. And that is also exactly what we're going to do in the next and final episode of this playthrough, but I will talk about that in a moment. For now, let's have the new kid say his line, and then we can watch the credits. If you want to skip past the credits, I will leave a timestamp in the description and in the comments below, which will bring you directly to the dawn of a new day in South Park.
Screw you guys. I'm going home. Wow, what a dick.
Alright, here we are, back in our room. The main quest is completed, and so are the majority of the achievements in the game. However, we still have a handful left to unlock, and there are also a few pieces of equipment that we haven't been able to buy yet. So join me next time for one last episode of South Park: The Stick of Truth, in which we will, in true completionist fashion, wrap up the game and put a fitting end to this playthrough. For the storyline portion of the game, I can already say it has been a fun adventure. Like I said in the beginning of the playthrough, the humor of this game might not be for everyone, but I admit I enjoyed it a lot, and I hope you did as well. So if you liked this episode, then please go ahead and leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you want to support the channel and not miss out on any future completionist playthroughs, then feel free to subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!